on, guys? It is your boy, JayDubbs. I'm doing the intro for once. I don't know why Patrick let me do this, but here we go. I just took a tall shot of tequila and a drag of that 9% beer, so we're feeling a little frosty right now. Happy Friday. I hope you guys having a great weekend coming up. Hope you guys are doing great things. I felt like it was Groundhog Day. I felt like it took forever to get here. I'm so happy to be busting it up with your boy, Fair Enough, a.k.a. Sandsology, a.k.a. Dr. Professor Monkey Man Pat.
Jesus, I haven't used that in forever.
And me, a.k.a. Give me the fupa.
I swear to God, why is your name so
welcome. So today we're going to talk about some things, partly about some gaming news that's happened in the past week or so. And I know this is something that I didn't even think would have to be a question in 2023 or really ever. Like, I never thought this would ever happen. And it's just like, it kind of really, with some news about Nintendo lately, it kind of really got us thinking, like, should we get that sometimes, we have a huge issue with piracy these days, but also the industry is causing their own issues of piracy, and we've talked about that before, making it hard for us not to choose piracy in the first place. But
Facts.
Some companies take patenting and trying to get rid of these things way too far, and that kind of brings us to today's issue about Nintendo creating patents for the mechanics in Breath of the Wild. That was like, I woke up and I said, I don't really think I was going to hear some fugly-ass gaming news today, but I did. And it was just very weird because for some reason, Nintendo thinks everybody should kiss the ground that Zelda has walked on for whatever reason.
Seriously, though.
And they're just like, oh my God, we're such geniuses. We're not going to let anybody else do this. This is Nintendo shit, right? This is the cool stuff, right? And it got me thinking, like, should this be a standard, or should this just be something that never should happen, where like companies are trying to patent the way they structure their video game, when the whole reason why we have genres is so we can have similar games in a genre for people to pick from so they can have options.
So this has happened before. Gaming developers have patented stuff in the past, and it's always been a subject of controversy because at least in my opinion, I think it holds back progress. Like, if you have a developer that's patented a mechanic, that basically means that it basically opens the door for any other dev to get sued if they even touch or even hint at that mechanic.
Right.
Now, it is different developer to developer. I mean, certain developers may not really give a shit. They just want that money. Other developers, like Nintendo, would 100% do some bullshit like sue another company because they did a mechanic similar to the one that they patented.
Not to mention also that these mechanics are not the first game to ever do this.
No,
so
right?
Does that mean that, like, if somebody else did it first and then you patent it, do you have to give them royalties because you didn't come up with this mechanic? This wasn't your idea. Like, games have been doing this forever. Case in point, there's a mechanic in Zelda where you can like rewind the time of an object before and make it go back from before where it went. Yeah. That's a mechanic that was in the game Quantum Break. That came out a year before.
Hell, that was a mechanic in the game Time Shift, made back in the PS2 era. All right, like shit.
Like most games that deal with time manipulation, that's a
standard.
Yeah, that's a power of theirs. They can rewind the time of an object. So, like, how can you patent that? That's not something that you did, or that's not some original thinking right there.
Freaking EA patented Apex Legends ping system. The whole being able to ping shit. Yeah, that's now patented by EA for Apex Legends. Do you know how many games use a ping system?
Literally.
The hell?
Most of my cooperative games, just about every FPS game I have, and that's a lot of them. like so many games. Like, how could you patent such a? And it's not like the generic mechanics, right?
Right.
It's something that
It's
everybody
like something
does.
that's like, oh, we made this. We are really popular off of this. It would be similar to like if Epic Games patented Fortnite's build mechanic, which I'm low key kind of surprised hasn't happened. And if it has, I sound like an idiot. But I don't think I heard about that. So.
No, yeah, that would be the same thing, you know, and
because we just saw something like that in one of your games. It was the Monster Hunter clone type of game that you could also build shit, like build boxes and stuff. What was that? It was like a JRPG version of I forget the name of the game. And God, I sound like an idiot. But it was one of those games. It was one of your Monster Hunter clone games that you were like hyped about.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think,
but similar mechanic in that game. So I mean,
I'll probably think of it like way in the post show and figure out.
You probably will. Hey guys, go check out the post show. You might hear the name of that game. Oh my god.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like. This is just like this is almost as stupid as NFTs, or maybe even more stupid than NFTs.
Oh, it's way more stupid than NFTs. At least NFTs served somewhat of a purpose for the people who really gave a shit. This is literally just holding back progress. I mean, if you have a specific mechanic set in place, right? That. It can literally prevent entire games from being developed. Like
imagine if Batman Arkham did that with one of their mechanics. The superhero genre would be done completely. Like right. It'd be over. Like you know, or Spider-Man.
Think about it. If you go all the way back to when like the FPS genre was created, if they had, you know, copyrighted or patented that first-person shooter mechanic, we would not have any first-person shooters today.
I mean, Doom is pretty much the best thing of all time, but I would be okay with only Doom. You know, that'd be fine.
But they weren't even the first FPS. But they're the ones that got the most popular for the FPS franchise. But they were not the first.
No, it wasn't. It was Wolfenstein. But then before that, there was a tank game that was.
Yeah, there's a couple. FPS. There's a couple. But if whatever game was the first patented that mechanic, we will not have any other FPS games today. Might not. Because it would be a patented mechanic. Like, think about that. It's crazy.
I mean, we still would have got Doom Eternal, which once again, I'm okay with that being the only FPS game. No, but we definitely would have lost out on like Half-Life, Halo.
Right?
Original Call of Duty. When it was actually good, and original. Yeah. Like, did you see that fucking Modern Warfare 3 trailer? I'm like, bro, this is old, man. Like,
that's a whole other conversation, bro. Like, God, it's like whatever, man.
You know, thank God Call of Duty isn't trying to patent something. I don't need just Call of Duty in my life. You know, so, yeah, I believe that. I think this is it'll be interesting to see if this actually gets pulled off.
So, what is the mechanic that Nintendo's actually trying to patent? Because I actually don't know. You sent me that story that I didn't get a chance to actually look at the story.
No, it's they're trying to patent that rewind time.
Okay.
And then
there's a couple of them, right?
You could, the one where you could phase through walls. You can like phase shift. And then
you mean where I think like you look up at the little target and you like fly through the ceiling or whatever?
Yeah.
What? That's so stupid.
I think you saw that in one of the trailers.
Yeah. That's a big mechanic. It's a cool mechanic.
It's like it's really, really weird. And then I think there was one where like there was like a special action you did while moving through the air and shooting an arrow towards the object. It was like a kind of like a free fall mechanic a little bit. But yeah, they're tripping on some bullshit,
random,
you know. And then they want to be like, look, I don't like Breath of the Wild. I don't, and it's not, and I just don't care about Zelda generally. I grew up playing Nintendo games, but the Mario games, the Zelda game, they never really appealed to me. I thought Zelda looks kind of lame. I still think Zelda looks kind of lame. And I just never got into it, and it was not really that interesting to me story wise. And
I mean, Zelda has their own fans. They're arguably a bigger fan base, but still,
these games come out, and then like people just are just like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. It's like it's an open world game. It's nice. It's fun.
Breath of the Wild was like, okay, yeah, it's an open world action game. Okay, we've had this before. Now I'm not gonna deny that it looked cool. It looked fun. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just Zelda set in open world. Same thing with freaking Elden Ring. It was FromSoft in an open world. Not all that special, guys. Okay, calm the hell down.
Not really groundbreaking whatsoever, but it's just that the way they did it was really nice. You know, so I mean, it's the same thing here. Like, just Bethesda did. I mean, not Bethesda. Nintendo did a nice open world, but it's not. And then open world games after this proceeded to do things and have similar structures as Zelda, but then get shit on because it's an open world. I was like, dude, you just played this. Like, what? Sonic Frontiers, like, perfect example, you know? And then it's just like, well, why don't they're doing the same thing that Zelda did? Like, why what you're saying is bad in here? So like
that's another shitty thing, because like, a lot of mechanics that were in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, what have you, like, if a game came out like around that same time that had some of the mechanics, everyone was like, oh, they took this from Breath of the Wild. Oh, they took this from Tears of the Kingdom. It's like, this has been a mechanic forever. Like, the whole freaking glide thing from Breath of the Wild was also in, you know, Horizon Forbidden West. I'm just like, that glide mechanic has also been in like so many other games. Why is that? Oh, they took it from Tears of the Kingdom. It's like, no, they fucking didn't. Calm the hell down.
And those two games came out in the same year, by the way. So unless they're in cahoots.
Well,
yeah, 2017. They both came out in 2017.
No, I'm talking about Forbidden West.
Oh, Forbidden
West came out last year. Tears of the Kingdom came out this year.
No, I thought you were talking about Zero Dawn.
No, Forbidden West.
But no, yeah. So,
and that's why I'm like, Nintendo fans are toxic as hell. Two, Nintendo is toxic.
And I don't
know
why, because you're
because they're the minority, so they have to be the loud minority, right?
Your platform is literally starving you of quality, and you're mad at us. Like, just switch teams, my guy, and then pirate the shit. Like, it's very easy. They're not giving it to you fairly anyway.
And the thing is, if Nintendo were to actually get away with patenting any of these mechanics, maybe another dev might not be so inclined to actually, you know, take legal action against another dev for, you know, using a mechanic that they patented. They might just ask for, you know, to get paid royalties. But Nintendo would sue, because Nintendo is elitist as hell. They believe that anything that they have under their umbrella needs to stay under their umbrella. Meanwhile, they have no issue getting games from other consoles and platforms onto their console. They have no issue with that. But anything else only stays on Nintendo, and everything is only Nintendo.
Yeah, because they're super insecure, and they know that they're last. Like, they're in last place with literally everything. So if they see that other people could do their shit better than them, why stay on their platform? Like, you see that there's very little Nintendo games on Steam because Steam runs it at quadruple the literal everything that the Switch does. And I could probably get it double on the Steam Deck. So you'll become obsolete.
Well, that's also Steam running on like crazy powerful computers versus Nintendo running things on a handheld device that's $300.
Exactly. They're behind, so they have to keep everything under they have to keep the value with what they can legally keep under their umbrella. Like, now, and it sucks.
Now, the one thing I will say, there is a caveat to this, right? The whole conversation of should game mechanics be patented or copyrighted or what have you. There's a caveat to that, and there's one that I am slightly okay with. So like if you personally develop a very unique game system or game mechanic, put it in your game, and that game takes off and gets popular, I would say in that case it would be okay to patent that, as long as you still leave it open for other people to improve upon that mechanic. Like, you know, pay whatever you need to, get royalties from that game for that mechanic, whatever. But as long as you allow them to still use it and improve upon it, that is where I would be like, okay, this is fine. Because, for example, Warner Bros. Patented Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system, which has never been a thing in any other game and hasn't since. It's a very, very unique and a very niche mechanic. So it's not something that you're going to see in every single game. It's going to be a very niche mechanic you're only going to see in a handful of games that are designed around that mechanic, right?
No, I've played games lightly based with the Nemesis system in it, and it's really cool, you know. And
it's
I just
a
like
super cool idea, and if it works, it's dope. Like Shadow of War, it works. It's so much fun. It's super cool. I don't like Shadow of War for my own reasons, but the Nemesis system is lit.
No, it really is. I just don't think that mechanic should be, you know, I just don't think they should be patented, period. I mean, like, you know, game engines are different, I would say.
Sure.
But just general mechanics, like, everybody had to start from somewhere. Like, gaming is always built upon the past. Like, you can't do that. Like, you wouldn't be able to have Final Fantasy 16 if you didn't have Neo, Fatcom, Nowcom. I cannot.
What are you trying to say?
Falcom, making RPGs like in the 80s. Like, you had other, you know, games that came out before Final Fantasy that made Final Fantasy what it is. You know what I mean?
No, of course.
So, like, you can't say, and then, like, all the games from the 60s, 70s, and 80s that, you know, paved the way for what we have today. So, like, you can't really,
like, even
do that. You shouldn't really do that.
No,
you know?
I am actually on the same page with you there. I'm saying that, like, it's important for some people to have a sense of ownership over mechanics that they have originally created. I think that's important, but not to the point where you restrict everyone else from using that mechanic. I think that is when it gets toxic and anti-productive. Like example.
Like, what if you did? Like, what if you did that with art or music?
Well, yeah, you know? Right. Well, they do have that. I mean, like, artists have a lock on their style. You know, like Van Gogh style. You can do Van Gogh inspired style, but
I mean, but like, whoever discovered charcoal painting, I'm not paying royalties.
Oh no, sure, no, like, of course, like the method, I mean? Like, method of which. But yeah, like that would be like Warner Bros. For example, if they had patented the combat system of Batman, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, or Arkham Knight, we would not have the Spider-Man games today because they use extremely similar mechanics in their combat.
Yeah, absolutely. And
like, what the hell?
What's happening with my cats right now?
No, they're going at it. I was watching them. I was looking watching them do all this stuff. They're just going at it, dude. They're having a blast. Oh shit! I don't know if the one wants to get frisky or.
Better not. I'll rip his dick off. That's fine.
Calm down. But seriously, like, you have to think about that. I don't think I'm in your camp. I don't think that game mechanics should be copyrighted and patented to the point of total restriction from anyone else using those mechanics. If you want to copyright something that you made but still allow other people to use it, then fine. That's total. I don't hate that. You know, that's just a way of showing ownership, right? Like, hey, I created this. I should get royalties for this, right? That kind of makes sense. Yeah. I don't hate that. But trying to copyright basic ass mechanics that have been used in other games before, and you're not the first person to use it, but you're like, hey, I'm going to copyright because no one else has. Fuck you. That's stupid. Stop that. Stop being stupid. Stop being toxic. What's wrong with you?
I mean, I'll only the only counterpart I will make is just modders. Modders don't ask for anything but give a lot to the community.
Well,
and,
yes and no. I mean, some mods you do have to pay for.
I mean, it's art at the end of the day, and like I would rather us like just build. We don't always have to charge or just give, man.
Like I said, a lot of mods you still have to pay for. I mean, Gary's mod you have to pay for that.
You know, I mean, that's
a big mod. That was for CS:GO. That's a big mod platform.
But I mean, you know what I mean. Like majority of them are free. Like
sure.
Most of them, like so like it's just like just give, contribute, grow, and take pride in growing together.
I also at the same time though, dude, I'm still in the camp of get paid for your work 100%. If you're good at something, don't do it for free. Joker, whatever year that movie was.
But here's the thing. How about you challenge yourself and create more things?
Well, still get paid for that. You can't create something out of nothing. You gotta everything takes money to do it nowadays. So I mean,
because somebody can always do something better than you, even if you created it. Hence, music.
Well, I mean, yeah, but even when you sample music, right? Even if you came up with a melody, this is not focusing correctly. Sorry. Even if you create a melody, someone wants to sample that, you have to pay the original artist to sample that music, or at least get permission, and they might be chill about it.
Or the genre, like you're not gonna.
Genre's different. I would say genre's different.
That's what I'm talking about. Like if somebody creates a genre, you're not gonna sit there and be like, "Oh man, like you can't. Nobody else can do the genre but me."
No, exactly. That is where it starts to get toxic. It would be like someone saying, "Hey, I didn't create the action adventure genre, but now no one else can do it but me. No one else can make RPGs except for Bethesda now."
And plus, when you start a trend of being cheap about things.
Okay, now they're playing too rough. Dude, you should hear my cats. My cats go at it a lot rougher than that.
That's crazy.
My cats are fiends. But anyways.
No, I feel like at the end of the day, like this is definitely going way too far. I honestly hope that they get rejected, like, and that it just doesn't go through, because like
honestly, whenever Nintendo takes an L, I'm always happy. So.
What exactly are you going to do that is so fucking groundbreaking, Nintendo? That instead of giving your players a new hardware console, you're going to give us what is it exactly you're trying to do? Because you're not giving us new hardware. You raised your games to $70 for no reason, of no improvements, of nothing.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it you're trying to do? What's your plan?
Because like I said, whenever Nintendo takes an L, I'm usually happy about that.
So what is it that you're trying to like create that's so groundbreaking that you need to patent these mechanics? Like,
yeah. No, I'm right there with you, buddy. Guys, what do you think? Are you in the same boat as us when it comes to patenting game mechanics? Do you think it is anti-progression? Do you think that there's some cases where patenting a mechanic is okay? Let us know whatever you're thinking in those comments below. We would love to hear from you. And yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what actually happens. We'll give you an update if anything ever comes of this. They might just be blowing smoke and nothing will ever come of this. They just, want to have some publicity for no reason, but who knows? It's Nintendo. Literally anything can happen.
Dude, just give your fans what they want and fix your UI. Jesus Christ, it's just depressing as hell. It's literally still just a black or gray screen.
I know.
And their fucking Nintendo eShop, their UI is terrible. It's very it's missing a lot of quality of life issues. Like the only thing that's great about them is that they have that coin system. Like I bought 3 games on there, and then I bought 3 other games for free, just because it gives you a lot of coin when you buy games. So that's the one good thing Nintendo does. and their Wi-Fi and their internet service is what $25 a year, which is nice, but it's very cheap, and I mean it's serviceable. So
no, exactly, but
yeah,
guys, let us know what you're thinking in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. Other than that, thank you for watching. We appreciate it a lot, even if it was just a handful of you. Go check out our last video because it didn't do so well, and we would like to know what you think about our draft. We did another draft, big surprise. We had no content. Okay, I'm sorry. It was a very content lax week, and we were just like, this. We came up with it like 5 minutes before the video started.
Man, you were just telling all of our secrets, huh? You were just really telling them how we cook things.
Why not? Why not? Why not? It's important for the inside baseball. Guys, go check out all of our other videos, especially last week's. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed yet, would love for you to subscribe. Also, go check us out on Spotify for the Proper Post, which is the show that we record right after this episode. It's a little bit of a chaotic, but you know, we do our best. But anyways, Jules, thanks so much for popping on today. Thank you for hosting this episode. Appreciate you, buddy. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Stay excellent. We'll see you guys in the next video next week. Peace.